Today we get to do algebraic proofs. I kind of love algebraic proofs, so hopefully y'all love algebraic proofs. Alright, so algebraic, so you should know we're doing algebra. And proofs means you have to prove what you're doing. You can't just say, okay, I'm subtracting 2 on both sides and not explain to me why you're subtracting 2 on both sides. We have different properties that you will need to use when you're doing algebraic proofs to prove why you're doing certain things. I gave you a little handout that you're supposed to put in your spiral that have all the properties that you mostly use when you're doing algebraic proofs. So we're going to go over that part first. First, we have reflexive property. What do you think of when you think of the word reflexive? Like reflection? Like when you're looking at something, it looks exactly the same on the other side? Yes. So reflexive property is, it states on your little handout, A equals A. Alright? It's anything that's equal the exact same thing on the other side. So 1 equals 1, reflexive property. 2 equals 2, reflexive property. Okay, anything X equals X, reflexive property. If it's the exact same thing on one side of the equal sign than it is on the other, reflexive property. The next one we have is the symmetric property. Okay, so think of symmetry. And it says if A equals B, then, oh, that's ugly, let me fix that. Then B equals A. Makes sense, right? It's really just like flipping it over. So if 2x equals 0, then 0 equals 2x. Same thing. Okay? Okay, the next one is transitive property. It states if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. Okay, look at that for a second. What does that look like? I'll let you think about it. Think about it a little bit more. It looks like law of syllogism. Okay? So look. If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. They canceled out the B's, and what you were left with, A and C. Which makes sense. So like if I said that 2x equals 0 and 0 equals 7x, then since both of them equal 0, that means 2x has to equal 7x. Transitive property. Next, the addition property. The addition property states if A equals B, then A plus C equals B plus C. Alright, so really with the addition property, if you add the same thing on both sides, it doesn't really change your problem. That's all addition property is. So for example, if I had 5x minus 4 equals 6. If I had to if I'm trying to solve for x, I would have to add 4 on both sides. The reason I can add 4 on both sides is because of the addition property. Okay? So that's all the addition property is. Subtraction property states if A equals B, then A minus C equals B minus C. Okay, again, if you subtract something, the exact same number on both sides, it is not changing the equation. So, it is legal, as you might want to say. Alright, so, if I had 5x plus 2 equals 18, to get x by itself, my first step would be to subtract 2 on both sides, and that would be the subtraction property of equality. Multiplication property states if A equals B, then A times C equals B times C. Alright, so in this case, if I had x divided by 2 equals 4, to get rid of the divided by 2 to get x by itself, I would have to multiply by 2 on both sides. That would be the multiplication property of equality. Okay, the division property equality, it states if A equals B and C does not equal 0, because you can't divide by 0, then A divided by C equals B divided by C. So for example, if I had 2x equals 4, to get x by itself, I would need to divide by 2 on both sides to get x equals 2. So that means I use the division property of equality to find my answer. Substitution property of equality states if A equals B, then A may be replaced by B in any equation or expression. So for example, let's say that I tell you that x equals 3. And then I say 2x plus 5 equals 17. Well, I can't say that. Let me erase that part. Sorry. And then I say, tell me what 2x plus 5 is. So, if you know that x equals 3, and you have an x in this expression, you can change this x to what? 3. So you have 2 times 3 plus 5, right? That would be the substitution property, because instead of x, you plugged in 3, okay? So anytime you substitute, replace something, that is the substitution property. Okay, distributive property. For some reason, I don't know if that was like the easiest thing y'all found when y'all was doing math, but y'all usually get distributive property. Distributive property states A times the quantity of B plus C equals AB plus AC. So all they did was distribute the A. So A times B and A times C. So for example, if I had 2x plus 3, then that would equal 2 times x, so 2x, and 2 times 3, so plus 6. Okay, that would be the distributive property. Okay, so all those, what we just did was properties of equalities, and they are for us to have reasons to do our proofs. Our proofs are going to be 2-column proofs, so notice I have 2 columns. One of them is statements, one of them is reasons. Statements is really just all your work that you do. Reasons is why you did that work, okay? So, we're going to do an example, so you need to be writing this in your spiral. Alright, so it says, given 4m minus 8 equals negative 12. So, what I want you to solve for is for m, but I want you to explain your steps as you go. So, 1 usually is always your given, so 4m minus 8 equals negative 12. And my reason for writing that would be my given, okay? So then my next step would be my first step to solve my problem. And I'm going to show you 2 different ways. Some people don't show all of their work. Some people don't show all of their work. So the first one I'm going to do is not showing all my work. The second example I'm going to do is showing every step, okay? Alright, so on this one I'm not going to show all my work. So I would add 8 on both sides. So if I add 8 on both sides, I'll be left with 4m equals negative 4. And since I added 8 on both sides, that means my reason would be addition property. And I'm not going to write it all the way out. Property of equality. Okay? So that's usually the shorthand for it. Alright, then my step 3 is I would divide by 4 on both sides. So I'd be left with m equals negative 1. And since I divided on both sides, that would be the division property of equality. Alright, example 2 is n divided by negative 2 minus 3 equals 4. Now, on the last one, I told you I wasn't going to show you every single step. I said them out loud. I said, okay, I'm going to add 8 on both sides. So my reason is addition property. But I didn't show you plus 8 on both sides. On this one, I'm going to show every single step. So my reasons will actually be more than the last one would be. It's 5 reasons instead of just 3. But it's just your choice on which one works best for you. So 1, I'm going to start off with my given. So n divided by -2 minus 3 equals 4. So my reason would be given. Number 2. Alright, so I would need to add 3 on both sides. Plus 3. Plus 3. So my reason would be addition property. I'm sorry. I need to put number 2. Addition property. And I'm going to use abbreviations. Of equality. Step 3. Is I would be left with n divided by 2 equals 4. So remember on the other one, I skipped the plus 3 part. I wouldn't have showed my work right there. So this time, my reason would just be simplify. So when you show your work, you will have simplify as some of your reasons. Then step 4. Oh, this must be -2. So I'm going to multiply by -2 on both sides. So my reason would be multiplication property of equality. So I would be left with n equals -8. Oh, you know what? I messed up. Hold on. Okay, I messed up. Hopefully y'all caught me. Okay, I don't mind being caught doing wrong. Let me know I'm wrong. Alright, so 4 plus 3, I was supposed to do that part, and that should have been 7. So then right here, I would have had 7 times -2, so my answer would be -14. And my final reason would be simplify. Okay, we're going to do some more practice of that in class 2. Well, next time I see you.